She was a girl made of water, the first human in 5 centuries without a single red blood cell. If a person is 70% water, then she was 100%. She was once the most beautiful girl in her village, but her beauty bred jealousy among the people. So the year the great floods came, they decided to offer her to the river god, to make her his bride. At first, she thought it was just a ritual for blessings. She agreed willingly. Only later did she realize, she was meant to drown to stop the rains. She lost her life that day, but gained another under the protection of a swamp spirit. For decades, she moved with the wetlands, yet her body kept the face of a young woman. Then one day, she met Ginkgo, the silver-haired Mushishi. Both were startled by the other's hair. As they talked, Ginkgo learned she had been living in the swamp. He didn't believe it at first, but after hearing her story, he understood. She had been inhabited by creatures called water parasites. They were colorless, odorless, liquid in form. Once inside a person, the host could never leave the water again. Left alone, the body would slowly liquefy, becoming one with nature. They were born in the swamp, and would die in the sea. When the parasites reached the end of their life and headed to the ocean, the host would disappear with them. When Ginkgo told her this, she was surprised at first, then grateful. She didn't resent the change. The swamp had given her a second life, and she was willing to become part of it, to flow with it into the sea. Before Ginkgo could respond, she vanished into the ground. But Ginkgo sensed something, a will to live still hidden in her words. The next day, he went downstream for help. Where the underground river met the sea, he found where the swamp would pass. He gathered the villagers and set up a large net. Thanks to past kindness from the doctor and Ginkgo, the people were glad to help. Saving a life was a worthy deed. They waited quietly. Night fell. Suddenly, swamp water rushed forward, forming tentacles like an octopus. The villagers thought it was a sea monster, and raised their spears. Ginkgo stopped them just in time, keeping the girl inside from harm. But a huge wave struck the net. The villagers held on tight, trying to save the girl before she fully dissolved. Water parasites surged through the mesh. Within a minute, the swamp was gone. The river grew still, but the girl was not pulled ashore. Ginkgo looked at the last piece of clothing she'd worn, wondering if she had liquefied, merged completely with the parasites. Still, he hoped she had reached the sea, and was living on like a creature of the deep. The next morning, tiny organisms from the swamp brought fishermen a rich catch, and with them, a strange woman. The villagers called for Ginkgo. To his surprise, the girl's body had turned translucent. Under Ginkgo's care, the green tint left her completely. She had never felt so clear-minded, so free. It turned out that while merged with the swamp, she had felt the fear of death a second time. Living alone within it was a fate she had accepted. Not long after, she became part of the village, a member of the community. She had promised to stay with the swamp until the end. Now she lived by the sea where the swamp had died, determined to live on by her own strength. When it was over, Ginkgo packed his things. His journey